our champion. Do you know who our new Milo champion and Milo ambassador is? We're very, very excited also and proud na ang unang magkakwento ng Milo story niya sa buong Pilipinas is someone.
A Filipino tennis sensation has just etched her name in history in the most spectacular fashion imaginable, and the entire sports and business world is sitting up, leaning in, and paying very close attention right now. In a move that has sent shockwaves rippling through the Philippines and across all of Southeast Asia, Eala has officially inked a blockbuster brand ambassador deal with Milo Philippines. And the numbers tied to this agreement are nothing short of absolutely jaw-dropping. The senior vice president of Milo Philippines stepped forward to make the announcement personally, confirming Eala as the stunning new face of Milo in the Philippines, before unveiling a brand new commercial spotlighting the tennis phenom herself. Now, while the Milo front office chose not to publicly disclose the exact financial details of the deal, insiders with direct knowledge of the negotiations have confirmed that Eala has been handed a staggering $10 million contract spanning 2 years, with an option for a 1-year extension on top of that. Let that number truly sink in for a moment, $10 million. That figure doesn't just represent a massive, life-changing payday for one of the most electrifying athletes to emerge out of Southeast Asia in an entire generation. It also officially crowns Eala as the highest-paid female athlete in the whole of the Philippines. That is a record-shattering achievement that reaches far beyond tennis, far beyond sport, and speaks to something infinitely bigger that is building and brewing around this extraordinary young woman right now.
And go down. Your body. And somewhere front. Hey. Action!
Ikaw, anong Milo story mo?
And the response from the public has been nothing short of phenomenal. The moment that announcement dropped, social media absolutely erupted. Fans, sports analysts, business commentators, and everyday people who have watched Eala blossom from a raw young talent into a full-blown global icon all flooded the conversation at once. The enthusiasm has been overwhelming, and the ripple effect on the business side was immediate and very measurable. Nestlé Philippines, the parent company behind Milo, watched its stock price climb upward following the announcement, delivering real, tangible financial gains to the company and to every investor who had already placed their faith in Nestlé before this deal ever came together. That is not a coincidence. That is the Eala effect in action, and it is very, very real. But here is what makes this story even more fascinating. This is not the first time Eala has walked into a partnership and instantly transformed the financial landscape of a company. This has become almost a recognizable pattern at this point, and the business world is taking serious notice of what happens the moment her name gets attached to a brand. Just last month, Eala signed a monumental $30 million deal with Gatorade, and the results were immediate and dramatic. The instant that partnership was confirmed, Gatorade witnessed a significant surge in their stock performance. The market responded to her involvement exactly the way markets respond to genuinely transformational events, because that is precisely what her involvement represents. She carries the hopes, the dreams, and the burning pride of millions of fans across the Philippines and all of Southeast Asia on her shoulders every single time she steps onto that court, and Gatorade understood perfectly what that means in terms of business, opportunity, and brand expansion. The sports beverage market in the Philippines is currently valued at a staggering $1.17 billion, and projections suggest it is on track to grow by more than $2 billion by the year 2034. That is an enormous and still largely untapped market just waiting to be seized. And the brands that move swiftly and align themselves with the right faces are the ones that will dominate that growth. Gatorade made an incredibly sharp business decision, because Eala is the perfect bridge between the sport of tennis and a massive, passionate, fiercely loyal consumer base across Southeast Asia that deeply believes in the athletes it loves. She is not simply an athlete anymore. She has become a full-blown cultural phenomenon, and every major brand in the world is beginning to wake up to that reality in a very serious and financially committed way. The numbers back it up, the fan base backs it up, and the commercial results of every single campaign she has ever been part of back it up completely. And if you think the Milo and Gatorade deals represent the full extent of her business empire, you are nowhere near the complete picture. Earlier this year, Eala signed a landmark deal with NutriAsia that revealed just how sharp and forward-thinking her business instincts truly are. Rather than accepting a straightforward cash payment like most athletes would do without a second thought, she negotiated a 2% equity stake in the company. That single decision tells you everything you need to know about how she approaches not just her career, but her entire future. WTA is currently valued at $240 million, a valuation that has surged nearly 50% compared to just the previous year alone. That means her equity stake is already worth millions of dollars in real, concrete terms. And as WTA continues to grow and expand its reach across the region, her personal wealth grows automatically right alongside it. This is not the move of someone looking to quickly cash in on a fleeting moment of fame. This is the move of someone thinking 10, 15, 20 steps ahead. Someone who is deliberately constructing the kind of generational wealth that will endure long after the final point of her playing career has been won. And then there is the NutriFactor story that absolutely broke the internet just 4 months ago. The advertisement Eala appeared in for NutriFactor became one of the most watched advertisements on all of YouTube, pulling in around 70 million views. 70 million people watched an advertisement, not a music video, not a Hollywood blockbuster trailer, but an advertisement featuring Eala. That number becomes almost impossible to fully wrap your head around when you truly sit with it and compare it to what most major global brands spend enormous resources desperately trying to achieve in terms of audience reach. 70 million sets of eyes on a single piece of branded content is the kind of reach that most companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to manufacture through complicated campaigns and massive media buys, and Eala delivered it almost effortlessly, simply by being herself, by connecting authentically with the audience that adores her, and by bringing her genuine personality to the screen in a way that resonated on a truly massive scale. Brands all around the world saw those numbers rolling in and immediately started making phone calls, because figures like that are simply impossible to ignore, no matter how established your company already is. And speaking of brands paying very close attention, Nike has entered the conversation in a significant and deliberate way. Before the start of the Miami Open, Nike made a very public and purposeful statement by inviting Eala to visit their headquarters, sending a crystal-clear signal to the entire industry about exactly where things are heading. The numbers being discussed around a potential Nike deal are genuinely staggering. Sources familiar with the negotiations are reporting figures of $45 million over 3 years, with additional performance bonuses and incentive structures that could push the total value even higher than that already remarkable headline number. But what makes the potential Nike partnership even more significant than the raw financial figures is the nature of the role being discussed for Eala within the Nike brand family. This would not be a standard endorsement arrangement by any stretch of the imagination. The conversations reportedly go far deeper than simply putting her face on a shoe or a clothing line. Nike sees something in Eala that transcends athletic performance, and that tells you everything about the kind of global icon she is rapidly becoming. What Eala is building right now, both on the court and off it, is something the Philippines has simply never witnessed before at this scale. The Milo deal is historic. The Gatorade deal is transformational. The WTA equity play is nothing short of brilliant. The NutriFactor numbers border on the mythical, and the Nike discussions could represent the crowning moment of a commercial career that is still only just getting started. She is 20 years old. She is the highest paid female athlete in her entire country. She is moving stock prices, reshaping brand strategies, and commanding the undivided attention of the biggest sporting goods company on the planet, all while competing at the absolute highest level of professional tennis on the global WTA stage. The WTA world is watching. The business world is watching. And the Philippines could not be prouder of the young woman who stepped onto the biggest stages in the world and refused to shrink, refused to settle, and refused to be anything less than utterly extraordinary. Eala is just getting started, and based on everything unfolding right now, the very best is still magnificently yet to come.